Curious, what did you do with the door?
I was just peeking outside, see if any. Yeah, there was Remember the last time I like had serious talk like in the house was with like my dad. We were talking about like the divorce and stuff, and my mom was just like around the corner listening in.
Mm,
So I guess I just don't want to be heard by them right now.
yeah. What do you think would happen if you were heard by them?
Have to deal with it, I guess, with them.
What would you have to deal with? What do you think would happen? What are you afraid of? Why don't you want them to know what you're saying right now?
Cause like I don't even know like precisely how to feel. So how am I gonna like vocalize to them what I'm feeling?
Why do you have to vocalize to them in a clear way what you're feeling?
Just like help with what I'm saying, I guess. Like help them understand
What do you want them to understand?
that I feel this way. That it's like tearing me up almost.
What are you feeling?
It's like um that's hard to say. From a physical sense, it's just like something in my chest.
What's in your chest?
It's heaviness, I suppose.
Tightness or heaviness?
Yeah, tightness.
Tightness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, Miguel, I'm going to go ahead and ask you a couple of questions, okay?
Okay.
So, I want to come back to the statement that your dad said that I didn't want to tell you that I loved you, right?
Yeah.
So, and you're interpreting that as he doesn't love you.
I mean, not exactly. I think I do think he loved.
Yeah, so earlier I think when I asked you about that, you said
Yeah.
sort of the way that you felt is that he didn't love you.
I think when I was younger, like, and he would say like stuff like "I like you" and stuff like that. He didn't then maybe. That's like unsure. But now I'm like, I think he does. That makes it a lot harder too.
What makes it why does that make it harder? How does that make it harder?
Because I know he wants to have the relationship. I know he's like trying. I know that he like, you know, he wants to change. And I'm just like not helping that, I guess.
Hmm. Should you be doing something different?
I don't know. There's the should though, I guess.
Very good. Is that how you feel? Because when you say I'm not helping it, that sounds pretty judgmental to me.
Yeah. There's definitely yeah, I think about this too. There's like part of me that definitely wants to like, help. Part of me wants to change the relationship. It's part of the reason why I'm here even. But at the same time, it's just like, why do I even need to try? What's the point?
So you don't need to try.
I don't need to. No.
Let's understand that very clearly, right? So
Yeah.
a lot of times the decisions that we make in life, the ways that we approach life are based on this part of us that is like pissed off. Like
Yeah.
have you read or seen Twilight?
I, I've seen the first movie. I've not read it though.
Okay, so I too have not read it. I think I've seen maybe movies 1, 3 and 4.
Okay.
And in those movies, there I think at one point there's like, there's the werewolf versus vampire thing and the love,
Yeah.
but at some point I think she has a kid and
She
then
does? Okay.
Yeah, sorry for spoilers. I guess I should have given a warning. And then I think something weird happens. I don't know exactly what happens, but then so if you guys need to tune out, y'all should tune out. But at some point, the werewolf dude actually becomes like sort of this protector for her kid.
Okay.
And this part of you that wants you to stay away from your dad and doesn't want you to try and doesn't think that you need to try, I kind of almost view as a protective werewolf. Does that sort of make sense? Like it's like strong and angry and terrifying, but also is like really looking out for you and you can count on it.
Yeah.
Like you've got this like psychological like werewolf guardian who just kind of follows you around, is going to just fuck shit up if it tries to hurt you.
Sounds pretty cool.
But the thing is, it's kind of stupid, right? It just knows it's like it's like reactionary. It's not nuanced. It doesn't, sip tea with its pinky up. I don't know how else to describe it. Like it's not very psychologically minded. It's a beast. It's bestial. And so I think you don't have to. You can listen to that thing because this is what you've had to do. So I want you to kind of think a little bit about this and let me know if this sort of makes sense or doesn't make sense. But I'm envisioning you as a kid and a couple of experiences happen that werewolf in your mind starts to grow. Oh, and over time, huh?
100%. There's like one that comes to mind.
Tell us about it.
I forget. It started from something stupid again, but like, yeah, my dad started yelling at me. He like puffed my chest up to me or something. I was so angry, and like I puffed it back, like I squared up, like about to fight him or something like that. Of course, I backed down because I'm like not about to hit my dad, but
yeah. How old were you?
This was 16, maybe, give or take a year.
Mm-hmm. You said you weren't about to hit your dad. Was he about to hit you?
I don't think so. He was definitely poised like it, though. He had the thought in his mind.
Sounds kind of scary, huh?
Yeah.
And so you had to learn how to protect yourself. So part of your psyche sort of developed this like protective mechanism and it sort of came out. So it sounds like it was actually pretty well developed at that point.
Yeah.
When do you remember times when you were younger where you started off being scared and then you sort of found this like core or nugget of like hatred and anger?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
I mean, there's no specific time I can think of, but I remember like after arguments or something with him, or like he yelled at me, I'd like sit in my room just like hitting a pillow or something like that, just like really angry.
Yeah. And were you angry while he was yelling at you?
It was like boiling over, I guess.
Boiling over when?
Like towards the end, like some points like I don't need to take this,
Yep. So I just want you to notice that like anger is born out of hatred. Born out of hurt. Mm-hmm. Right? And so that anger kind of arises and it protects you. So anger is also a protective mechanism that we use to shield us from other more hurtful emotions. Yeah. So when I get rejected by a girl, it hurts, and then I'm like, she's a fucking bitch.
Yeah.
Right? So I think, Miguel, we have a choice here. So I think it still kind of comes down to, first of all, it's like a no-brainer to me why you're homesick for being away from home.
Yeah.
Because when you come back into this house, all of these things which you've managed to barricade away are like more difficult to barricade. Because you have a somatic memory. You have a memory within your body of these times and these feelings. You basically you may get diagnosed with PTSD if you go and see enough psychiatrists. Because I don't know if it's PTSD actually isn't the right. You may not get diagnosed with that, but it's clearly been traumatic. Yeah. So like the other way, we kind of think about triggers or flashbacks. So now that you're at home, all of these emotions are arising, and your mind is not clean and focused the way that it used to be because all this shit is floating around. Yeah. Now, I do have a belief. I think your dad does love you, and I interpret I wanted to tell you I love you in a different way. Yeah. What I interpret, for example, Miguel, if I like someone and I say, I wanted to tell you how pretty you are. Yeah. What does that mean about what I think about their attractiveness.
You definitely think they're pretty.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why didn't they say it?
Just scared, I guess.
Something gets in the way,
Yeah.
right? And what I'm hearing from your dad's statement is your dad doesn't say, I don't love you.
Hmm.
He says, I wanted to say something to you, but I didn't know how, or it was too hard.
Yeah.